My name is Raph. I am playing Grinner, a barbarian human running from his past as an ex-soldier, now turned mercenary.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared. I'm playing the character of Luther. He's a Dhampir. He is a fighter that specializes in firearms, bit of an investigator, and I am the great uncle of Grinner.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I'm playing Tithla, the Goblin Ranger. She is a wonderful hunter and medical genius.
Hi, I'm Haz. I'm playing Theodore, the Satyr Druid, who's a kind of a charismatic druid who's unwillingly taken Tithla under his wing as she's followed him through the forest for the past few months.
G'day, I'm Tom. I'm playing Jonor, the Aasimar Wizard. He is on the pursuit of good and evil, finding out the best and worst in this world, and he's doing that with a little bit of naivety and optimism.
And I'm Owen, the Dungeon Master of our Curse of Strahd campaign. Hello! Welcome back to the Lost Archives and Curse of Strahd, the premier horror campaign for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Now, before we get too into the session, we are a man down tonight, unfortunately. Poor, weak immune system Jared himself has failed to outlast a simple cold. It has infected him, and it is a man cold, and he's got just stretch a bit scratchy and he can't talk. So he's not joining us tonight. I shouldn't make light of that. He's sick. He can't join us. We probably shouldn't get into the habit of
the poor guy while he can't defend himself.
He's putting his health first. I think that's something we should all strive to.
The best bit is, of course, with his knee still being damaged, I can insult him from a distance away and then run away before he can do anything about it. So it's perfect. No, Jared is. Yeah, that's true. Very true. Obviously, Jared is sick at the moment. He will not be joining us tonight. I will play the character of Luther. We wish him a speedy recovery.
Do we though?
What was that? Sorry, do we though? I think we do.
Nodding.
Yeah. I think Tom's head said yes, but his eyes said yeah.
The truth comes out.
We are obviously making fun of Jared because we love him. There's a very strong part of Australian culture where people who you like the most you call a total bastard. People who are actually shit, you call them a bit of a bastard. It's a little bit backward in Australia. I don't think many other countries have that, and so sometimes people watching from international places get a bit confused when we're absolutely destroying someone who we profess to be friends with and go oh my god, this is bullying. It's no. We do actually genuinely profess affection here in Australia that way.
But it is also bullying.
It's also bullying, and it's very self-destructive. Definitely not the sort of behaviour we should be encouraging, nor modelling for people to take on. But here we are.
And we won't stop.
That whole toxic masculinity thing, am I right?
You're right, Jacob. Well identified. So I will play the character of Luther tonight, and I'll be controlling his character while Jared is away. Other fun announcements. Thank you everybody who has been smashing the watch hours on YouTube. We recently just passed 90,000 watch hours. Thank you so much. Amazing. I believe the most recent subscriber count for those of you who are on YouTube is at 775. We are so close to that golden 1K. So if you are watching on YouTube and you want to help us out, we would be very much appreciative if you could hit that subscribe button. Most of you, in fact, I think it's 38% of you, are absolute bloody legends and have already hit that button. We are so appreciative to you. Thank you so much. If you're not one of those people, that's okay. You can still become a legend at any point in time by hitting that subscribe button.
How can we drop a link to make that easier?
How can we drop a link to make that easier?
Drop a link, Owen.
I think it's already in the description below and already on the about page of the Twitch thing. I believe we have a little channel command, but I can't remember what it is in this moment, which shows the level of professionalism that we bring to this form of entertainment. The other thing I recently discovered is that I recently had a quick look back at some of the videos and discovered I had been categorizing them as entertainment, not gaming, which has not been the right location. So I had a fun afternoon re-establishing the correct correct type for every video I've ever published. That was fun.
We are not entertaining. That is for sure.
That had to be taken out ASAP. That is an inappropriate link.
Cannot mislead the viewers.
It is now gone. No, and I realized that
I'll stop reporting all the videos now then.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Now, let me do a quick recap. We'll jump into the session and get underway. So, the newest team of the Tempest Adventuring Guild have found themselves lost in the dangerous realm of Barovia. Trapped by strange magics, the group have now travelled westward, away from the sinister castle which reportedly houses the immortal ruler of these lands. Successfully arriving in the town of Vallaki, the group have now been drawn into an investigation to locate the missing bones of a saint said to confer protection to the town. Along the way, the group also teamed up with a gnome sorcerer, Raspit, who was searching for a lost item, a ring, which seemed to be in the care of Lady Fiona Wachter, who also was rumoured to have much to gain from the acquisition of the bones. Previously, the group actually pretty much wiped out the Wachter family after receiving an invitation to visit there, which Raspit used as an opportunity to launch a surprise attack on the Lady Wachter. With only Nikolai and his younger sister currently left alive, the group have taken a quick breath now that Raspip has recovered his ring and departed from the manor. Learning that Stella's mind was broken after only spending a week with the family of the burgomaster Vargas Valakovich, and that her brother Nikolai wanted to take her to the abbey at Kresik, the party now plan on journeying there with him to heal Tithla too, right after they investigate the burgomaster. Before all of this though, the team headed back to Father Lucian Petrovich to return the now recovered bones of Saint Undril. We left off last session as the team decided to investigate the Valakovich household, the household of the current mayor and burgomaster of the town. Theodore and Jonor infiltrated the manor house, with Theo disguised as a roach doing a little circuit of the manor, while Jonor pretended to be a visiting scholar / book merchant. The story changed at different points during that particular infiltration. He did, however, manage to successfully make his way into the house and meet with the butler. However, his line of questioning and inconsistent story triggered some suspicions, forcing Jonor to use the suggestion spell to get a message to the son Victor. After it was revealed that Victor, the son of Baron Vargas Valakovich, might have been acquiring some textbooks that contained spells of a darker nature. Unfortunately, it was at this point, after Jonor had successfully gotten his message delivered, that the plan began to fall awry a bit more seriously. On his way out of the front doors of the manor, Jonor unfortunately drew the attention of some of the guards, who, when they questioned him as to what he was doing there, he failed to provide a particularly compelling answer. We left off last session as Jonor felt a stern hand clap onto his back, pulling him close and pulling his shoulders in as a familiar voice boomed from behind him. "Well, what are these frowns doing here? What is going on?" As Jonor turns and looks into the face of Baron Vargas Valakovich, the burgomaster of Vallaki. That is where we left off. We're going to jump straight back in. Jonor, as you turn around, I can see, Tom, you're pulling what can only be described as an insane grin. Fantastic. Jonor,
very Joker-esque.
Very Joker-esque.
We live in a society.
As Jonor spins around with this very large smile plastered across his face, Jonor, you watch as the guard mimics you exactly, only half a second behind you, quickly pulling out a really big smile as the Baron essentially just walks up right behind you and clasps a hand on each of your shoulders. You can see another arm is around the shoulders of the guard. The Baron, I'll do another physical description for those who might remember, a rather short man, just under 5'8", with black hair graying at the top, pulled back into almost like a sort of like semi-bun, the hair receding rapidly away from his forehead, giving him quite an elongated head appearance. Quite sallow, pale skin, eyes actually ringed with quite dark rings, quite contrary to the insane smile plastered across his face, eyes wide open, almost slightly bulging out of his head. You can see these large lines formed around the side of his cheek from the sheer act of smiling so often. dressed in red flowing robes and wearing this massive golden chain around his neck. The Baron is surprisingly strong for a man who looks to be in his 60s. As he sees you both smile, he immediately cocks his head and goes, "Oh, silly me. Perhaps I made a mistake. I could have sworn I thought I saw a frown. But no, you two look to be having a great time. Well, what is going on? How can the burgomaster of Vallaki help you today, eh?" The guard sort of looks and goes, "Sir, I was just questioning this individual as to their actions here in the town and what they were doing here while the others were assembling the wreaths. They seemed to just be wandering around." "Oh, I'm sure that's not the case, right, my boy?" As the burgomaster turns towards you, Jonor, and fixes you with a slightly unfocused stare.
I was observing this wonderful wicker that was in this front yard.
"Oh yes, we're getting ready for the festival of the blazing sun. Say, I don't recognize your face. Are you a newcomer here in Vallaki?"
I am a new one, yes.
"Well, and you already know the power of the smile. They say smiles go for miles, and you have come from miles with a smile." As he stares at you again. And you watch as his left eye, Jonor, slowly drifts inward while the right one stays fixed upon you, which I will now demonstrate. As he just stares at you like...
Bonkers.
Yeah.
What can be done to make this sun wicker even better?
Are you saying you're here to help us make it? Oh, so wonderful! Do you have any special skills with crafting wood into large flammable objects?
I'm sure I'd be able to help.
That is the spirit. See, he wants to help! As the guard sort of like nods and goes, "Yes, sir, but I was just going to question. He seemed to have come from inside the manor, but wasn't carrying any sticks or twigs." "Oh no! Did you not want to help?"
I was just trying to locate the twigs to put him in here. I'm glad we were told where they are.
"Inside! Look!" And he points, and you see a line of people emerging from inside the manor carrying these bundles of twigs and sticks out towards the group who are assembling the giant wreath.
Well, I think smiles go for miles, and this giant wreath will look fantastic. I'll go help.
Wonderful. Actually, you could maybe help me with a task.
Sure.
I need someone to go and fetch me some pouches of oil. Waterproof pouches, of course, to put inside the wreath so when we light it on fire, it looks great.
Oh, that'll look even more like a sun. That'll be glorious. I can go get that for you.
Fantastic. If you just head inside, I think they're in my study.
Okay.
I'm sorry, are we literally on a fetch quest right now?
You watch as Jonor's little like HUD just pops up with like quest started.
0 of 5 oils.
I can go get you your 2 oils.
There's a sudden like spinning of your mini-map, Jonor, as it reorients back to north, and then a couple of little points appear on it in the top left-hand corner. Great!
Perfect.
You better go get them quickly. It would be a shame if we had to squeeze them through. It's better when there's lots of gaps in the twigs to fit the oil pouches in.
Okay, which stairs to take?
Just the main ones. I like how Jonor's now starting to like imitate Baron's voice.
There's no... yeah.
No, but you know what
He's
though? As a
infectious.
social technique, mirroring someone is the best way to gain their trust really quickly. Just some little fun like psychology tricks for everyone. Yeah, if you mirror someone often, it'll be an easy way to start gaining their trust. Jonor's literally just doing this. I love it. It works, Jonor. as the Baron like knows like, oh, fantastic! Yeah, just the main stairs, straight upstairs. Take a left hand turn. If you speak to my butler, he'll take. I tell you what, I'll take you to my butler right now.
Sounds good.
Brilliant. All right, and with that, The Baron says to the guard, "It's okay, he's with me now. I will take him inside and you can ask him questions later, okay?" The guard sort of nods and goes, of course, Your Honor. Yep. Sounds good, sir." And begins backing away. Jonor.
And as we start moving, we depart from the guard.
Yeah, heading back towards the manor.
And I'm alone with him.
Yep.
Once I get an eyesight of the stairs,
Yep.
I'll say, "Oh, just there. I can go there. I'll let you continue watching over the construction of the giant wicker. I believe that should be a simple task."
"Oh, no, I better introduce you to my butler. Otherwise, he won't know to let you upstairs. I told him to not let anyone upstairs."
Well, yeah, that's a very common sense strategy.
Cool. With that, Jonor, you are led inside the landing. As you pass by the rows of people heading back into the side antechamber where the sticks and twigs are piled up high. At this point,
so does he have his hand on me, the shoulder?
No, he doesn't
And
anymore.
are there any windows which I can see that are open that a man could jump out of?
Fantastic. The windows are not large enough for a person to jump out of without taking some of the glass with them. There are a number of windows that are partially open to let fresh air through. Theodore, you're still in roach form at this stage.
Yeah, I believe I was running around with my natural 1 in perception, not absorbing any information from my reconnaissance.
Yeah, that's
Roach.
roach connaissance. You're still like wandering around, not really sure like where you are. As you move into a room, it's really dark, and your compound eyes are giving you a lot of trouble making out any of the details of what's around you. So I would say at this stage, as you hear Jonor stepping back in, and you can hear his voice again, and this very echoey, booming voice. Probably that's as you finish your little walk around the downstairs, without really finding anything of too much consequence as you get back towards the staircase where you'd left Jonor.
Yeah, I'd probably just scurry back up and get back into his scarf pocket roach.
Would you like to make me a stealth check to see if you are noticed doing this?
What would I need roach stats for that then.
Roach decks. I will quickly pull open.
Maybe I could find.
There's a giant roach. All right, in that case then, let's do just a spider's stats, because to be honest, I think a roach and a spider would probably have very similar levels of stealth when running around. Would you like me to send that to you right now, Hans?
Also, is anybody else getting like people pyre vibes for this big wreath that's going on?
It's called the Festival of the Blazing Sun. That's
come on.
Obviously going to be above board.
It's good things.
Okay.
When has blazing ever been bad?
Well, not in my experience.
I got the spider stats. There we go.
Perfect. Actually, you get a +4 to stealth.
On the blazing?
Alrighty. As you begin scurrying back up the rope, you immediately move the inside you move to the inside pant leg of Jonor's clothing. Jonor, there's this like tickling movement down your ankle, and as you sort of go to kick it, you see the roach moving back up inside, running up the inside of your clothes. I'd say that you would remember your companion has turned into a roach and is exploring the inside of the manor at this point. So probably your panic does not kick in.
Fantastic.
But the roach sort of scurries up the inside, tickles you a little bit, and then gets back into your scarf. Oh, where has my butler gone? It's so weird. Normally he stays right where I tell him to. And at that moment, footsteps begin coming from down the stairs, sort of hurriedly jogging down as the butler emerges from the upstairs landing. He's dressed.
At this point, I'm going to do a. Oh, I don't have thaumaturgy. I thought I did. God damn it.
Getting ready to scurry the fuck back out of this one.
I'm going to
go well.
Use a minor illusion. I'm going to create my best impersonation of the sun wicker that was being created outside, and just plonk it on the right-hand side. So our doorway, where we've walked through, I imagine we're now just in the front of the door. So I'm going to just create one on the right-hand side. So it looks there to distract him.
Okay. First off, I'll get you to quickly make me a stealth check, because I believe Minor Illusion has both verbal and somatic components, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, somatic and...
Yeah.
M and S.
Yes.
So
Material and somatic. So no verbal, just
No
material and
verbal,
somatic.
sure.
That's going to be a bit easier
So,
then. If it doesn't have verbal, if it's just material and somatic, it's not as bad. If it's all
Yeah.
three, it's much harder.
All right, let's go
Let's get a stealth check. I just want to see how stealthy you are. 20! Jonor! You are really, really good at covert spellcraft. As you quickly reach into one of the pockets of your robes, you quickly pull out the material components, which for minor illusion, I believe is like some sand or something, and then...
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand. As you quickly pull out the material components from your spellcasting pouch, from your component pouch, you quickly pull them up, your sleeves kind of obscuring your hands as you create these very intricate movements, holding them just out of sight of the Baron before you then release the spell, creating this wreath that sort of shimmers into existence over towards that right-hand side. Do you then point to kind of like draw attention to it, or are you just hoping it naturally draws attention?
I was going to do this and then do a message. I was going to do that and message him and say, because it's just a whisper, it's undirectional.
Yeah.
It's like, is that a second wicker on the right?
Okay.
So I'm casting a second spell. I imagine I have to do that subtly as well.
I'm happy to take your previous stealth. Just so you know, though, this is going to happen as the because that's going to take 6 seconds to quickly cast that spell. So I'll let you know when your message comes into effect. Just as you finish creating your illusionary wreath, Jonor, the butler gets to the top of the stairs and like starts and looks down at you, and then goes, "Oh, sir, I was just coming to find you about this individual. I was going to quickly..." Jonor, that's when your message goes off.
I'm going to turn to him. So my right side is covered, is not invisible to the butler. I'm going to turn to the burgomaster and point at him with my right hand and say, "Is that a wicker on the right side of the building?"
Okay, perfect. As you point at him and say that, he sort of like hears your whisper and looks back and goes, "No need to whisper in this house. Oh my goodness! Look at that finished wreath. It is so beautiful." The butler sort of like turns and sees this, squints and goes, "Quite, sir. There was something I needed to speak to you about concerning that individual there." The burgomaster at this point going, "Oh, it's so beautiful." Jonor, can I get you to please roll me? I just want to see how good this illusion is. So what's your spell save DC?
Oh, spell save DC. I will go to my spells.
I believe it'll be like 15. Yeah. The burgomaster. The burgomaster goes, "Oh!" You watch as a tear rolls down his cheek, gets caught in the smile lines, and like goes into his mouth before dripping out his lower lip. "It is so beautiful." Oh, as he stares down at this wreath, and as he sort of like bends down,
has he moved towards it at this point? I'm basically waiting.
He turns towards the side to look at it. Yeah.
Once there's a gap between me and him, and I think of enough room to run out the door and jump and flap my celestial wings, that's what I'm doing. So at that point, that's what I want to be able to do.
Third person out of there.
Are you going to? Okay, so you're going to quit. You're also going to activate your Aasimar ability to get you the. How long do you get flight for? I think it's not very long.
I think it's a minute.
It's not too bad. A minute's okay. I thought in my mind I thought it was only like 2 or 3 rounds of combat. If it's 10 rounds of combat, you're going to be
1
fine.
minute.
1 minute. That's awesome. Yeah. And you're going to fly out of there, are you?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm not going direct. I'm going side of the building just to get as obscure as possible.
That is absolutely fantastic. Does anything else manifest when you activate your when you basically sort of like tap into your celestial?
They are wings that just like pop out the back. So there'd be the general golden glow that would roll over Jonor. Wings pop out the side. I imagine if they get to the door, jump, wings then fluff out, and
Amazing. Does there anything else happen with you? Do your eyes glow? Does your hair glow? Is there any other like signs of your angelic nature, or just these 2 massive wings just go poof out the back of you in this sort of puff of feathers, and you take off.
I really do think it's just limited to the shining gold and the shining shimmering feathers.
Amazing. As you run and activate that ability and begin like jumping into the air and flapping these enormous white wings that shoot out from your back, sort of almost like partially transparent, and they don't rip through your clothing, they almost like pass through it as if they're partially intangible. This golden glow shining from within you as the people below cover their eyes in surprise, the dark gloom of Barovia meaning that their eyes aren't really well adjusted to this sudden burst of light shining from you, Jonor. As you take off, the guards sort of like stop and stare, looking as this, essentially to them, an angel rises from the burgomaster's manor and begins like flapping up before turning around the side of the building and taking off as quickly as he can. I'm going to get everyone else, so Tithla and Grinner, could you please roll me a perception or investigation check to see how much of this shenanigan you can observe going on?
I'm not sure if there's anything else that would be going on.
I also think that Tithla wouldn't stop talking, so I'm going to roll it with disadvantage.
That is absolutely fine. 24, Tithla. 22,
22.
22.
She's
Not
good.
bad.
I got a 6, but roll 20 just pooed itself, so bear with me.
No, that's okay. 6, not so great, Grinner. Probably
With
you're
Tithla not
more...
shutting up, I'm sure she would just narrate
I've just been
what
listening
she's
to
observing.
Tithla.
That's where the disadvantage went.
I was about to say, Grinner, you've really been trying your best, but Tithla's been talking into your ear now for the last almost solid hour. And there's a point where your ears have just shut off in protest and are no longer conveying that auditory signal to your brain.
Yep, forgiveness
I
is reaching a
think
point.
That Tithla, though, would have been trying to talk about things that she thinks you would be interested in. So she wouldn't be very good at it, but she'd be trying to talk about the shiny sword and whether the dagger was too sharp and, you know, things like that. I think that's where her understanding of things that you like, that's sort of where, and she's trying to talk about it. She's trying to get there. It's like,
does make sense to talk about weapons with the man who literally carries no weapons.
yeah, exactly.
Very pointedly doesn't do that.
It's synaptic fatigue, isn't it, Owen? Where your sense just stops. Yeah.
So, as Tithla suddenly goes, and looks up, Tithla, you watch as this golden figure looks a little bit similar to Jonor, suddenly starts rising from the ground, flapping with these beautiful white angel wings before sort of trying to shoot around the side of the building. And there's a brief moment where your brain sort of like struggles to process the information before, oh yeah, that was Jonor that you just saw flapping up out of the... As Luther turns and goes,
so do you think...
What was that?
Do you think you've ever, like... I know you use lots of weapons, but have you thought about maybe just trying like a leg chair or a chair leg or maybe a Jonor? Have you ever tried hitting anyone with a Jonor? I'm sorry, was that Jonor?
What fuck?
Yeah,
Are you still fucking talking?
Question one.
Pretty sure I just saw our friend Jonor just fly out of that building like some sort of like bird person.
Yeah, but also, have you tried to hit anyone with Jonor? I think that's...
I've tried hitting people with people, but... Sorry, Luther, what?
That counts. I'm sorry, Jonor was just...
You saw that too, Tithla, right?
Well, I mean, it couldn't have been Jonor because there were like big wings and they were silver and it just wouldn't make any sense. Surely, did you hit me? Grinner?
No,
that would make more sense.
Well, I thought about it, to be honest, over the last 15 minutes of this conversation. I thought about it.
I appreciate that it took you that long to start thinking about it.
Well, no, it didn't take me that long. It's taken me that long to resist hitting you, mate. But anyway, Jonor doesn't have wings, though.
Well, that's why it couldn't be him.
Well,
We've seen him
what
do
if something took off?
We've seen him do something similar. He manifested wings in the fight with those ladies who wanted to cook us into a pie.
Oh,
Grinner, you wouldn't remember that, Grinner.
Yeah.
You were fucking you were off your tits.
I was.
And the one that I got eaten by an oven and have been horribly disfigured like
You
this.
might have been a
I've
bit
tried to block
distracted
most
as
of
well.
that out. Yeah.
Yeah, you might have been a bit distracted as well. No, Jono's done this before. He was like flapping up against the roof like some sort of trapped pigeon.
Sure, but how fucks he do that though, right? Like it takes a genuine amount of strength to take off with wings.
These are really good questions. We should probably ask him when we catch up to him. He has just flown out of the burgomaster's mouth. It looks like there's some people getting a bit like upset around there. I can see some guards getting a bit upset. Should we like maybe move away?
Well, before that, I need it on record that we need to have a conversation as a group about hidden talents and hidden abilities, because clearly I don't understand what's going on. You all know everything that I can do, everything that we can do, and apparently that just honesty hasn't been shared. Grinner, I think we all understand what's going on with you and your love of weapons.
I have to assume no one else is hiding anything about their character from us. I assume everyone else is 100% honest.
Luther very pointedly begins walking away and towards where he saw Jonor disappear around the side of a building.
No. Let's do this character development right now, Luther.
I'll come with you. I'll follow you.
Luther turns around, hisses like a snake, and scuttles up the wall like a fucking lizard. No, he doesn't.
Canon. It's canon.
He doesn't. Do that.
That's what I mean.
Luther just goes, we should probably catch up to Jonor. I'm just gonna keep walking. Not on walls, just walking. Normal, like a normal person.
Okay, I don't know why you would say that. That's a weird thing to point out specifically, but okay.
You gotta be specific sometimes, Tithla. Jonor, where are you flying? Because this seems really important information.
As he transforms in a city that hates things that transform.
To be fair though, sprouting angelic wings and glowing with a soft golden light, out of all the things he could do, probably one of the safer ones.
Probably, yeah.
Transforming into a bear, not so great. that one's a bit more dangerous.
Basically, on the local block of buildings, I'm going to go 2 over, start getting low, and find a landing pad, just backyard of a nearby building.
Brilliant.
Somewhere where I think there's people not nearby.
Okay, that's easily done. As you drop into, essentially, actually, they're probably the best place for you. If you were heading around the side of the Vallaki house, it wouldn't have taken you more than like a couple of flaps to head in the direction of the border fence. The Vallaki household actually being quite close to that southern fence that
Can you ping
rings the whole town.
Vallaki mana for me, please?
What was it, sorry? Yeah.
Can you ping the mana for me?
I can ping that mana, you son of a gun. Let me just do that right now. Can you see that? No, you can't see that, can you? Because all of you are looking at me like I am speaking garbage. How about that? Can you see that ping?
No.
What if I ping it now? Can you see that ping?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, why didn't you do that from the start?
Hey. I did. I was on the wrong layer. Jonor, as you begin like moving towards the south, flying down. I mean, you get 4 or 5 houses and then drop behind one of the main. What looks to be almost like a tenement building, a couple of apartment-style rooms set up on this very rickety-looking, quite tall townhouse. And as you drop into the backyard, which is not fenced and borders onto the other backyards, I mean, the backyard itself, you can see there's an open fire pit where they've burned some junk. You can see that there is like a wagon up on bricks in the back corner as well.
Nice.
Thank you. A horse up on bricks with its shoes taken. As you head around the back of this tenement house, there's a number of like wagon wheels stacked in a corner. You sort of land as the minute draws to a close and your wings fade back in.
Suck back in.
Yeah. Grinner, Theodore, Tithla, and Luther rushing down the side street, heading in the same direction that you've flown.
I'm still on the scarf.
Oh, sorry, you're still in the cut. Sorry, so just Grinner, Tithla, and Theodore rushing down the side street towards you. In that case, then, yeah. So Theodore and Jonor, you've probably got like a minute or two before the party catch up to you. Theodore, are you still staying as Roach? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'll remain as Roach for as long as I can, just on the off chance I need to do some more infiltrating.
Some more roaching.
Probably find him, just like pat him and just make sure he's still in place.
Stroke
Probably
Roach.
fell into the shoe or something.
I don't think I like the phrase "stroke the roach."
It sounds like a euphemism, doesn't it?
I'm really against that phrase.
That might be a euphemism. It's certainly not a euphemism. I don't approve of that. I don't like it.
You don't stroke your roach?
I don't like the phrasing of it. I protest. I protest it. In this case, Jonor literally pats his friend wild shaped into the form of a cockroach. I don't know why you keep picking roaches, but whatever. Questions for another time.
Versatile.
Can't kill him.
That's not
Impossible
true.
to kill.
That's not true.
Impossible.
No, it's
Science.
definitely not
It
true.
says immortal.
That's not true. That's not true.
So that's why he gave you a spider, not a real cockroach. He didn't want you to break
Cockroach
the game.
is wrong. CR20 cockroach.
We're just going to move on because the rebuttal for that is so
just got
obvious that there's no point even bothering.
Cockroach v Trask, who wins? Who knows?
Yeah, I do cockroach.
If you can't find the cockroach and all that's left is this destroyed city and the Tarask is also gone, like the roach
Cockroach win. Cockroach win.
Cockroach wins. Okay.
Yep. Science.
Okay, perfect. So you stay in roach form. Jonor, it doesn't take too long for the rest of the party to rush around behind the buildings. Luther kind of leading the charge, realizing that as you headed around the back of the manor, you probably weren't going to be heading onto any main roads, and leading Grinner and Tithla down through the streets and into the backyard fencing over towards the edge of the palisade wall. As soon as they spot you, you see Luther rush up, shaking his head and go, Jonor, what happened there, buddy? Like,
We've got some. I got some good news and some bad news. Good
I
news
bet you've got
is,
some
we
bad
need to go-
news.
We got the stockyard tonight. I think I might have said midnight. We might be meeting with our Victor. So that's very good. We'll prepare ourselves for that occasion.
Okay.
Other preparations, including me hiding my presence in every single town guard here, changing clothes. Every sort of hiding I can do possible. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, mate. Flying across the fucking town's probably not very
Incongruent.
incongruent. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you're looking for inconspicuous. I
rather-
think you're looking for inconspicuous. Incongruent's not the word. That's not the right word there.
Don't tell me what I'm looking for.
Yeah, you don't know us. You're not our
okay.
real dad.
Wait, what?
That's Damo.
I think we know that.
Daddy Damo will come back for us one day.
And also, where did the wings come from?
Yeah, right. Can I prod his back? Are there holes in the back of his?
No holes in the back of his
got on?
clothes. In fact, his robes look undisturbed.
Oh,
Tithla lifts up the back to try and see them. Because clearly
bare
they're hidden.
ass.
So Jonor, no. Jonor is wearing pants.
Regret.
Jonor's outfit does include pants. It's not so much a robe as it is like an overcoat at the top with like coat tails. But you can lift up the coat tails. But he's still wearing a shirt tucked in underneath, or a tunic tucked in underneath. I'm pretty sure on the character art you've got like a 3-layered outfit: the scarf, the coat, and then the undershirt. Yeah, I'm just looking at it now. Yeah, so I mean you can lift up the coat tails, and there's a shirt there, Tithla, that you can see.
Are they blending in with the shirt? Is that what this is?
No,
Are they the same color?
They're my Aasimar wings. I'm actually part celestial.
I'm sorry. What?
Haven't you known this? So
No.
I'm actually
How
part
would I know
celestial.
this?
There's in my family bloodline, there's a bit of a heritage going on where I've
You're a
got a bit
god?
of celestial in me. No, I'm not. I'm not a god, but who knows where our heritage came from? All I've got is a couple
Randy got
little.
freaky with the god.
Can
A
I
couple
roll
little
for the
abilities
fuck
and-
is that?
Sure, that would probably be a Arcana or No, I'd say Nature or History check.
I'm sorry, but please go on with your description of your family lineage.
Yeah, well, my family's got a little bit of a celestial dropped in there. So what that means is that I get these little hints of their abilities. So I can just cast light whenever I want because celestial is good and light.
What?
And these wings, you've seen angel with wings before, so there's just little bits and dabbles of that in me. So
No, mate,
it's,
I've never seen an angel with fucking wings before.
No, I've never seen an angel without wings either.
Well, I've never seen a fucking angel.
Well, I've never seen one with 4 wings.
Well, I can, next time we go to a library, I mean, this place isn't the best library, but there's heaps of them.
Library.
Yeah, well, book
Just Tithla
smart.
laughing at the
there's
concept of the
definite
written word there.
benefits.
Quite a fan.
You know, book smart's pretty handy there, Tithla. I'm sure it could do you pretty good.
Yeah, maybe if you had someone you bought somebody to do the research for you. Reach the low shelves. A child.
I can't tell if it's Jacob. I can't know if it's Jacob or Tithla now laughing. I feel like Jacob just is his character.
I think Jacob's just shit himself.
He broke himself with a pretty low caliber Jonor.
I've never seen a man.
That was an appalling caliber joke.
Possibly the worst Jonor minded child joke we've had.
I've never seen a man laugh at his own jokes so much as well. Like he's actually gone red from it. Like he's swaying. He almost couldn't get it out. He was laughing so hard at his own joke.
Tithla probably drops to the ground.
Normally that's me.
Uncontrollably. He's gonna pull out a book and show something that's got an angel on the page, and well, it's kind of like me. If you want to read more books, there's some.
I do like the idea of it's like a biblically accurate angel from the Bible, where it's like these rings of eyes and then like 9 wings emerging from the sides of it. I do like the idea of it being like the Old Testament style, like this is a protector. You show off like these rings of eyeballs just go around this central core of light. That would be quite funny.
Well, I am Aasimar, so is it Aasimar or Aasimar? I think
however you want to pronounce it.
ASMR.
Well, I'm not going to know
ASMR.
either way. Whatever you say is what it is, because this is all new to me.
Yeah, well, that's how I got my wings.
History check of 8.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I mean, you've heard legends of like occasionally people having traits of the divine. You've heard of Aasimar before. It's not that weird. I mean, you don't know much about them, but you've heard of them. You know that there are sometimes people born who sometimes might have like glowy golden eyes, or like a little like halo that hovers above this little like zone of light.
So they are like a established race.
Oh yeah, yeah. It happens on Nostea, the world you guys are all from. It happens. Like, there's not a really well set pattern. No one really understands fully where they come from, but anyone from any race can have Aasimar traits, and they can be born with this like, contact with the divine.
And is that safe to say that they're kind of the polar opposite of tieflings in that regard?
Not in terms of like, I guess in a way, not the polar opposite of tieflings, more like the celestial version of tieflings. Like very similar to tieflings in every way, but rather than having this ancient demonic heritage, it's an ancient celestial heritage. Again, tieflings on Nostea are a little bit different. Tieflings are like their own established people, whereas Aasimar can be born to any person. And if you're the child of an Aasimar, that's not necessarily a guarantee you'll be an Aasimar. So it's not like quite the same. Yeah, it's not quite the same, but similar sort of lines. Like you're not too far off the path there. But with an 8. Actually, Grinner's like, yeah, just like the opposite of a tiefling, right? It's just sort of like an anti-tiefling. An anti-tiefling. Yeah.
An Aasimar.
Yeah, that perfect.
Yeah.
That's with an 8 Grinner, that's what, yeah, you're like, yeah, I've heard of these folks before, Aasimar. Yeah. They got horns and stuff like sometimes.
You're quite perceptive, Grinner. I appreciate that. That's nice way to put it.
All right.
So
yeah, no, I'd also do that.
I do want to tell you guys more about it, but I actually we should get some clothes to cloak me up, or get some of these raggedy things. I look around for clothes being hung out to poach.
Oh yeah. Do you wanna quickly make me a perception or investigation check? I just want to see how like what sort of stuff you find. But yeah, there are clotheslines just strung up. 17, Jonor. As you look over towards your right, you can see what looks to be a series of probably sheets that have been hung up to dry after being washed. But also hanging on the line with them is this grey length of fabric that, I mean, if you were to wrap it around, you probably would do as a pretty good cloak. It's long enough that it would hide most of you from view. The hood could be pulled up to kind of disguise your face. And the colour is this very sort of like nondescript grey. It looks like maybe it was once used to cover something, maybe as like a tarpaulin, but the cloth that it's made of is this very heavy wool. Probably be quite warm under there as well.
Great. I grab one of those. So the next time I see a bit of water, I'm going to dunk it in some dirt, muddy up the hair as well. Yeah, Tithla, what's that?
What are you doing?
I'm going to try and... so you need to be stealthy sometimes, and you're not trying to be caught. You might know a little bit about it. So
I do. I know a little bit, yeah.
So a good thing is, like, putting camouflage on. I'm camouflage in like the urban environment.
Yeah, but Jonor, somebody owns
urban
those
camo.
things.
Yeah.
I'm quite enjoying Jonor
Yeah.
explaining how to hide to a rogue. Quite enjoying that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm open to other ideas. What do you think?
Ranger.
Let's figure this one out on the fly, okay? Yeah.
Well,
what do you want?
Why don't
What do
we
you think?
start by putting, other people's property back where it came from?
Yeah, right. What the fuck you do? You don't steal shit.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, that's my mistake. All right.
He's
Where can we
trying.
get this?
We don't need to do the language. He's trying.
Well, I don't think.
Learning.
Yeah, all right. You know what? I'm not.
I've
Actually,
learnt today. We're all learning things today, okay? Today,
could,
forgiveness.
Well,
I could flick my code upside down, and then I imagine
There you
it's
go.
flat again.
look, I
it's-
take my military coat off and hand it out. It's
Thank
something
you.
different. I don't know. Maybe
And
it'll
here-
fucking.
You can use my little cloak too.
What
He
is a
gives it
hood?
to you, so it's, yeah,
It's like a turban.
sort of a bib.
Yeah, it's a more bib. It's more of a bib, as you like put it around. The military coat that Grinner hands you, Jonor. Grinner's quite a tall fellow. This sits and much more broad-shouldered than you are. As this sits on you, you kind of are a bit lost in it. It makes you almost look like a child wearing an adult's jacket, even though you're not that much shorter than Grinner. Just the breadth of the shoulders. I mean, this was designed and made for him, or tailored at least in part for him at some point in the distant past, and it fits him very well. It does not fit you very well. You are kind of like
The
lost. in it.
negative strength doesn't help me.
No, I love the idea of like as Jonor lifts up the arm, you watch as the entire shoulder pad just collapses in on itself because his shoulders are about like sort of like just a few centimeters away from his neck.
Jesus.
A few meters away, a few centimeters away from his neck, whereas Grinner is quite a broad-shouldered fellow. The jacket looks ridiculous, but at the same time, it almost draws attention away from Jonor and to the jacket.
Perfect. My my coat is going into my bag.
You can keep wearing your coat under the jacket. Don't worry, it's
Oh,
big enough.
perfect.
You don't have to.
Cool.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I'm gonna smash on some mud onto the hair if I get the chance.
Just before you do that, Luther's going to go, hang on a minute, Jonor, hang on. He takes off his Stetson and hands you the hat. Maybe you could just wear the hat. You don't need to like put dirt and shit in your hair.
That's very kind of you. I really do appreciate that, Luther. That's great.
But we could just cut it all off too, right?
Yeah, look, well, if we need to get to it, we can do that. Yeah.
That might be a bit of an extreme position. Maybe let's see how this getup works. And if we need to resort to like shaving him, we could get to that stage later.
Well, I do feel like getting the absolute bollocks beaten out of us just for not smiling properly is a bit extreme too. So, I guess it's whichever evil you want to pick, really. Cut his hair or get the absolute shite clobbing out of you.
I'm not sure those are the only two options we have to pick between. I think there might be more than those options available to us. We could maybe head outside of the town for the next couple of hours till things die down and come back at night. Again, we're quite close to the palisade wall. If we needed to seek shelter, we could probably come back in. If we wanted to go rest at the Blue Water Inn, I'm sure that we could stay there.
Can we just go kill this fucker, right? Like, he's causing all this trouble. He's obviously not a good bloke. Why don't we just waltz on up there and punch him in the head a couple times until he falls over? It works. It really does.
I don't know if there's much point doing that just yet until we know whether or not we need to go that far. Remember, we're trying to figure out whether the land is for this one.
We're not the judge, jury, and executioner, remember?
Well, yeah, true, but we could at least be the judge and the jury.
I know, and that's what we're trying to do by getting all of the jury's information.
All right. I don't know who that is anyway, but all right, we could do that.
Well,
Okay.
what we
I
need to
don't
do
know
in the
either.
meantime.
I knew a Judy once.
I never
Lovely
did.
lass.
Well, we can wait around.
Janet.
Maybe.
Oh, shit! You lot are still here. All right.
I'll just
Can
turn on my camera.
can we let Jonor speak? Can we let Jonor speak, please? Jonor was trying to say something that seemed important, and you lot are going on about Judy and Janet and Barbara. I don't give a shit about
Yeah.
that. What were you saying, Jonor?
Maybe
Jonor, do
midnight.
you know any Jennies?
What were you saying,
Jonor
Jonor?
just looks down and stops. No, midnight. We need to be in the stockyard.
Okay,
Nah, look,
got ourselves a
we're
time.
being silly. So what are you talking about midnight in the stockyard? What the fuck are we doing there for?
Yeah, I got a message delivered to Victor, and he's going to be hopefully at the stockyard at midnight. The butler did know about this, so he might try to foil our plans. So we have to sort of approach this one with a little bit of caution.
Jonor?
Did you get to speak to that kid?
No, I didn't, because as soon as I got in, I was unconvincing and then had to make an escape. But I managed to convince the butler using magic to tell him, the son, to meet us at the stockyard. Or one person, me.
Has he done that? Are you sure he's actually done that?
Yeah, I'm sure I suggested he did it, and I'm certain it would have happened.
Right.
Jonor, I would like to apologise on behalf of Theo and myself. That is a brilliant plan. Well done.
Oh, thank you. That's, I think when you put under pressure, you just have to try and come up with a plan on the spot. And that's exactly what I did.
Absolutely. They've always said, you're good under pressure.
Speaking
That's
of,
exactly
Jonor,
right,
where is
yeah.
Theodore? Did you leave him behind? Is he with you?
I pull out my leg, just pull it to the side and shake it a little bit. Oh, I think it's
Kill it! Kill it!
No!
But you can. You can
That was
squash me if you want.
the weakest defense I've ever heard.
No, don't do it.
Oh no!
That
Don't
Tithla would then
kill
try
it.
and stomp it. Tithla
Like
would
a
stomp
green stop sign.
You can stop me away.
it. Yeah.
Tithla, make me an attack roll, unarmed strike.
Yes. What do I roll?
Just be unarmed strike. It'll be in your actions.
Oh, it's there. Why don't I just do that button?
Exactly. Yep.
Hey.
That's a good call.
How's that nat 20?
Oh my god. Please roll me damage, and you
God damn it.
you start off with 4 because it's a D4.
Okay, well, I'll just roll the 0.
It's not a
What?
D4. It's just 0 because it's just your strength modifier. It is 0 damage. Even with a crit, it is still 0 damage because you don't have
I
enough
have a
strength.
-1 for strength.
I am going to say only because it
Can't
is
kill a
crit.
cockroach.
You're
Cannot
lucky.
kill a cockroach.
The 200% reflect damage on the cockroach stat block really would have done you in then if you.
I will say that is a single point of damage, Tithla, with the crit as you stomp on the roach. How much hit points does the spider have? 1 hit point. Okay.
2,000. 2,000 hit points on the cockroach.
As you step on the roach and crush it, there's this, and then Tithla, you are thrown backwards as the roach explodes in size into Theodore.
Oh. Hey, I didn't realize it was you. Sorry.
I did.
Hello. But did you not stop us then? I was trying to stay roachy.
Why?
I tried a little bit.
I thought it was.
I was a roach. I was not blind or deaf. I heard you put up the worst resistance in the world.
How was
Obviously, I was a little
the
bit entertained.
how was the roach reconnaissance? Did you find anything interesting?
Yeah, I got a good look of the entire manor.
Oh,
Well,
great.
good. What did you find out then? Tell us all about it in great detail.
It is certainly a manor.
Yeah.
I get it. I
It has
get it.
many rooms.
All right. How many?
At least one.
Yeah.
It has at least one room.
At least one room, yes.
Anything
Some of
else?
them quite
Great.
dark. Yes, I did very well with the reconnaissance.
Do you think maybe you could draw it for us when we get back to the room?
Yes, I could probably draw you a map of the manor.
Wonderful.
Would it? Hang on. I know this question. Would it be an accurate map of the manor?
It would have at least that one room.
No, but would it actually
That's a map.
represent? Would it actually represent the physical location and not just be something you were making up on the spot?
It would be like an artistic interpretation, I think. Which
Yeah, there'll
really
be some
has more value.
artistic license.
How
So
much
what you're
artistic
telling me-
license? If you had to give it a percentage.
100%.
Okay. Great.
So
Well,
it's a piece of artwork.
I don't know if
it's
there's much
beautiful,
point
really.
asking you to draw that map then, because that's not really a map. That's more just some speculative topography.
A what?
Speculative. Don't worry, Tithla.
Why are there
we probably,
speckles?
yeah, we probably shouldn't just be standing behind these houses.
Yeah, no,
I know
we should,
Jonor's disguise
probably-
wearing a coat and a hat is flawless, but maybe we shouldn't have him just out in the open.
Oh, Jonor. Sorry, I didn't know. I didn't recognize you.
Yeah, that's Jonor.
Well disguised.
I'll lead the way.
Where are you going to lead us to, Tithla?
I'm going to lead us to Dad's place.
Whose place?
Back to
Dad?
the church.
Yeah, with Dad.
Oh, the priest, your father.
Yeah, Dad.
Yeah, I think probably that's not a bad idea. We just need to make sure we're not seen. I mean, we're pretty close by. Let's just move quickly.
Irina's there, and everyone's there. Why wouldn't we go there?
Well, yeah, all right, but we also have all these cats that we need to put back together so that girl could come back to reality.
That's true. It's been like an hour. Do you think they've caught 8 cats?
I don't know. Should we check on our way past?
We're not going past that way. That's another direction. We could go past.
You don't have to be a party pooper, Luther.
No. Some of us could go past.
Here, mate.
I could take Jonor back to the church if you wanted to go and investigate the cat situation.
Well, I don't know. Is it worth it? I'm leaving this up to the group, all right? I know what the cats look like. That's all I got going for me at the moment.
Jonor, I know you're very much a thinker. I think you should make the decision on what we're doing today.
Yeah, Stella only had one cat she loved. So there's probably only one important cat. So I think the 9 are a bit of a red herring.
Oh, what? Which one's the one that we need?
I thought,
Bluebell,
how
which
do we know
one,
which one?
Because I was told by her brother.
Oh, and the cat's already there. She's got it.
And what
Yeah,
happened
that's
to it
right.
being like a fragment of her mind?
Yeah.
Didn't
How we
you
get-
discover that?
Working
I thought that
theories
was
and-
for you, Luther. That's not Luther. Who the fuck are you?
That's
Jonor.
Jonor.
Sorry,
I know
I
the
think-
disguise is working.
Yeah, I know.
wonderfully.
It's
really
the hat. I just look at the hat and I just go, it's got to be Luther.
That's it's quite a disguise. It's just all it took is a hat and a duster, and Grinner can't even tell him apart from me at the moment.
I specifically wrote down in my notes mind split of what the girl 9 cats cat fragments.
Yeah.
That
What
was
are
a
you
question
going to
mark.
do about it?
Yeah, look, I don't get flashes of genius. It sort of happens over time. So this has sort of been refined knowledge. So
So, all right. So, hold on.
Tithla,
right?
do you want to make a quick history check to see if you can figure out where you got that information from? Because it doesn't sound like Jacob remembers.
Sure.
Yeah, we were having a group discussion, and
Yep.
I think Grinner had that brainwave.
Yep.
But
Out of the
to
blue.
Tithla, it sounded good, so
Yep.
we've written it down. It's fact. Yeah,
Fact.
no one disagreed. Sounded good.
And you've certainly run with it.
So, all right. So what you're saying then, Jonor, is that there's not a lot of cats that we got to get. We just got one cat that we got to get.
yeah, that's right. And the son already knows to keep it safe and to not let it go. So,
Wait, hang on.
Sure,
He's
that's
already
alright.
got it. The son's already got it. Nikolai's already got it.
Yeah. Before we left to go to the burgomaster's place, I ran in there, had a quick chat with him, said, "Which is her cat?" He said, "That one." I said, "Don't let it go." He said, "Okay."
Hang on. We told a whole bunch of people to go looking for cats all over town, and you're telling me that you've been sitting on this information the whole time. That means we probably didn't need to make them do that.
After they got dispersed, yeah.
What the fuck is happening tonight?
On the upside, I didn't like any of those guards anyway, so fuck them. They could go hunt down some cats.
Jonor, hang on. I just want to get this straight in my head. So we don't need the cats?
I'm pretty sure we only need Bluebell, who's the one. Yeah, that's right. We don't need him.
Bluebell?
Okay.
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 But
And they've already
hold
got
on.
Bluebell.
Do
That's
they have
right.
Bluebell? Do we have confirmation? Do
Have
we
you seen Bluebell?
Right.
You've seen Bluebell with your
Yeah.
own eyes.
That's right. I saw the Stella and her cat together
Okay.
with her brother in that room where they could have
Do
been
we
blown
have-
up.
Do we have any evidence that this whole mind split into 9 cats thing isn't a thing?
Do we have any evidence that it
I feel
is a
like-
thing? Do we have any evidence that it is a thing? Just to balance
The
No,
this.
we did not-
absence of
we- I
something
can't-
isn't proof of its existence.
Neither is the presence. By that logic.
The only evidence we have is that there was cats and there was a poor broken girl who acted like a cat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like her mind
yeah.
had been split.
Yeah, right. The logic, it fits, right?
Hang on, wait.
there's a
No,
lot-
hang on. Jonor, you spent a bit of time talking to Nikolai. When did they get the cats? Did you find that out?
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
question.
Was
Yeah,
it
so,
around the same
there
time?
was-
Or you
It
sorry, you
was
go.
Stella's cat.
No,
And then-
they were her mother's cats.
Just one cat for the mother, but they were clearly daughters and mothers. They had their own affection for their own cats. The mind fuck happened, and then they brought more cats in way after that. So the child grew up with Bluebell for a very long time.
Oh,
Well,
I saw.
all right.
All the cats were owned by the mother, except
they were acquired later, from the sounds of it. They were brought in to help like fix the girl or something.
Yeah, it was an attempt by the mother to try to piece her daughter back together. But
The cats came later.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Except for that one cat, right?
Except for the one cat.
The bluebell, yeah.
And the cat that was an imp.
And the mother did have a cat that was an imp as well. We shouldn't forget that. That is important.
Hold on, though, right? Okay, just let's back up just for a moment here.
Everyone step back.
No, not physically. Fuck.
Okay,
Right.
I'll come forward again.
Well, that's a little too close now, Tiff. Just half a step, love.
Okay. She just puts
We've
her
been
arm on
talking about this as boundaries. No, all right, another half step, love. Come on now. We've talked about this.
She steps like an inch away.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to take the loss here. Look, all right. So there's only one cat that might or might not actually be a small human girl. Is that right?
Yes, there's only one important cat.
All right. So if there's one cat that is probably a small human girl, how do we put this small human girl outside of the cat and back into the person?
I would not even say probably. It's at best remotely possibly.
No. It's absolutely the most likely outcome at this point is that little girl is trapped inside a cat right now.
Hang on,
We've got to
Grinner.
do something about it.
Didn't you also say it was absolutely that there were 9 cats that were each like fragments of her psyche, and we had to go chase them down?
That was
around
only
town?
probably. That was probably.
That was a likely outcome, but this is slightly more likely now that the other
What's your
one's less
experience
likely.
with magic again, Grinner?
My
A lot of experience with
magic
cats.
Yeah, I've got a lot of experience with cats. I've saw a lot of them the other night. Yeah.
Hang on. So your experience with cats is you seen a whole bunch last night.
Look, why are you poking holes in it, mate? I think it makes a lot of sense that little girl is now trapped inside a cat.
Jonor, you know stuff about magic. Jonor, you actually
thought this was a good idea the other day.
Yeah, we've had a chance to think about it, and upon reflection, it sounds kind of crazy. Jonor, you know about magic.
I think it was a good idea.
Look, it was whenever everyone walks to the table, everyone presents an idea, and slowly you sort of working through the ones that make sense. And I think one that you might have mentioned has initially had a bit of strength to it, and we might be putting it to the side a bit now.
That's so kind.
On the brain,
Is it just trauma? She was just abused at the hands of the burgomaster?
Well,
could have been, and she's just been severely mentally handicapped.
You don't just suddenly start turning into a cat person, though, do you?
Is she turning into a cat person, or is she just
weeds?
acting like a cat person?
Yeah, well, same, right?
Maybe there's a twisted book that the son has got, and they perform some unholy magic on her, and that fucked with her mind. Apologies to the children around. I should stop swearing.
There's no children around. Apart from
We're in an alley.
Well, look, I mean, there's only one way to find out, and that's to meet in the stockyard at midnight and talk to the victim. And
Victor.
Who's that?
no, I believe we've been saying his name is victim.
Yeah.
It's definitely with an M on the end because
Yes.
I'm going to punch him in the head.
Well, hang on, we don't need to do that yet. We don't know what his level of culpability is in this. Grinner.
With
He
8
might be-
cats?
I don't know.
What now?
Do we hear any guards like in the
Oh
proximity?
yeah, 100%. Yeah. As you ask that question, Jonor, you can hear the sound of like cries coming from the main street, the sound of booted feet running past the front of the building that you're currently like just standing behind over at the fence. It doesn't look like they've thought to leave the main road yet.
Guys, people, we should get out of here, I reckon.
Yeah, we need to head around. We need to head around the side of the building.
As a church. I mean, Mr. Grinner, if you'd like to go investigate the cat situation, we can go check that out while they go.
Obviously, that's not fucking worth it anymore, so don't even worry about it.
All right, let's go to the church.
Let's go.
I might head onto the road and I'll keep an eye on it. If I see any guards head backstage, I'll give a shout, hey?
Yeah, all right. I can distract too. Don't forget, I can just run around and throw more helmets out.
Just before you commit to that, remember what happened last time? How you ended up in the stocks? Ideally, none of us.
Okay, I won't throw food at him again. I'm
No,
sorry.
Tithla. I'm saying more. It's ideal that none of us end up in the stocks again. Not for that reason, just because it's shit to kind of be in the stocks, and there's no guarantee that the burgomaster won't just kill us.
Yeah, because your closest friends betray you while you.
Okay, I think we can move on from that. There's no need to dwell on that.
We're closest friends.
Is this quite sad for you?
That was your takeaway. Okay, I'm gonna head to the main road and I'll keep an eye out and I'll let you know if I see anything concerning. I'll rush back and call out.
All right, let's do it.
Thank you for looking out for us.
No problem.
Off we go.
And I think the cats was a good idea.
I need all four of you to roll me a stealth check, please.
Stealth check. Making stealth checks. Oh, I have disadvantage on those.
Stealth checks. I'm good at stealth checks.
No, they're 15.
3 for Theodore. 15 for Tithla. 23 and 15. 15 is the
Should have
final.
stayed as a cockroach.
16 for Grinner. Jonor.
Someone
8.
had stopped me.
That's right. You need to blame the people who didn't prevent the action rather than the person taking the action. That's correct.
I'm glad you agree.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm actually going
Jonor-
along like the walls and
just sticking to the edge of the palisade wall. Hey, Jonor.
Yeah,
perfect. You can get most of the way to the church just following that palisade wall around. Actually, you can almost get back to the church. You still have to cross the road, however. It's at this point, Jonor, as you cross the road with the long coat and the hat on, as you begin moving across, there's this call from the main street of, "Oi, you lot, hang up, hold up a second." And as you look down towards the right, you can see a group of 3 guards paused at an intersection, looking down towards the church. As they begin walking towards you, a figure steps out of an alleyway with white hair and a red handkerchief and bumps into them and goes, "Oh my, I'm so sorry." As you see Luther suddenly step out and bump into them. In that brief moment, as they turn to look at him, no eyes are on you, Jonor and team. And as you rush across into the church grounds and push your way inside the main chapel, placing your hands against the door, closing it shut, going, "Okay, I think we made it." You turn around and see Father Lucian standing there, sort of looking a bit concerned, up on the pulpit, a congregation of people sitting down in the pew standing before him as he appears to be mid-sermon. There's this sort of sudden pause as he goes "And the light of the sun shines down upon you, and you feel its warmth deep within your hearts," as he stares wide-eyed at you, all 4 of you just sort of standing at the open door. And he slowly looks over towards the side chamber and back at you lot, and then back to the side chamber as he continues speaking.
I'm going to try and start ushering everyone in the group towards the side chamber, taking the hint. Go, go, go.
"And though we sometimes find it in our hearts that the darkness and the gloom pressing in from all angles," as you step into the side chamber and close the door, the sermon that Father Lucian Petrovich is giving suddenly fades out of earshot, and you see standing there before you Irina with a book open on her lap as she's sitting in a seat, looks up and goes, "Oh, how did you go? Did you get what you needed to? Did you do what you needed to do? You managed to track down the books?"
We're one step closer to getting the books. We can talk with the man who has them later tonight.
Except now we can't go outside.
Well, not for
Well, Jonor cannot go outside. The rest of us kind of okay, really.
Yeah, honestly, to be fair, Jonor, you've kind of done this to yourself, mate. Sorry.
But I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Jonor did do a very good job of getting the information from the start, and we should all be thankful that he's made this sacrifice for us.
Yes, of course.
That's very kind of you, Tithla. Thank you.
Yes,
And-
this new positive attitude, Tithla, is very
And we
nice.
should all apologize for picking on him because of it. I'm sorry.
You guys were picking on me?
Oh, no more than usual, mate. Don't read into it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I'm genuinely I'm surprised. I thought that if anyone was going to be in trouble with the guard again, it for sure would be you, Grinner. But Jonor, normally you are quite understated. You tend to not draw too much attention to yourself. What happened?
Yeah, no, usually my sly ways, smooth talking, didn't quite get me there this time.
So what happened?
did my best to go speak to Victor, and the butler asked me what I was doing, and I couldn't give him a proper answer.
Asked one simple question and all fell apart.
Asked me who I was and what I was doing there, and the lies fell away.
Much more sense.
My life is a house of cards.
He turned into the human equivalent of a pigeon and just fucked off.
Fair,
Accurate.
fair enough. Well, do you need me to go and... it looks like you are a bit out of breath. You've been running here. Do you need me to go outside and direct guards in a location? Say that he went that way and point off in a random location? Or are you safe in here? Did they not see you?
Well, I think we're safe, and also I think it's best if you don't go, get yourself involved in this sort of shit, love.
You're the sister of the man we're trying to elect as burgomaster. You need to stay clean for the political campaign.
Yeah,
Probably
you can
safest.
do whatever the fuck you want after, but until he's elected.
No, that's probably wise. I will try and stay out of trouble. Well,
Unless you want to beat the shit out of someone with us this evening.
I thought you were going to speak with Victor.
Yes, we speak.
Well,
with...
yeah, speaking comes first. Yeah, I believe it is actually pronounced victim.
That is a concerning attitude you have already taken to what, from all reports, is a shy young boy.
Yeah,
Young
who
man?
turns people into cats and turns cats into people.
Do we know that? though?
Multiple cats.
Do we know
No,
that?
it's
At
confirmed.
least one
It's
cat. One
fact.
plus cats.
Yeah, Jonor can confirm that it is at least one cat has been turned into at least one person.
And that it was Victor who did it, right?
Well, yeah, who
Jonor?
else would it be?
We're trying to figure it out, and having a conversation tonight will be more evidence for this.
That's right. See, we're connecting dots and collecting evidence.
I'm not so worried about you connecting dots. It sounds like you are doing a lot of dots connecting. My concern is that rather than drawing connections between dots that are related, you're just kind of like scribbling all over the page. If
All right, you don't have to shit on the method, love. We're trying our best here.
I think maybe the second thing you said you should focus on.
What, shitting on?
No, collecting evidence, obviously.
Shitting on the method. We must do more.
I mean, sounds like maybe
Watch yourself.
maybe you're at the point where you're twisting evidence to suit theories rather than
Your name
twisting...
can become victim so quick, love.
That is, again, very concerning to hear. Well, look, if you wanted to rest in the church tonight, I'm sure Father Lucien would not have a problem. You said you were meeting this boy at midnight, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a totally
so-
normal time for a book deal to go down.
Well, and hold on. When you say boy, how old is this kid?
I believe he's like 15 or 16 from what I've
Oh
heard.
shit! I don't really like hitting children.
He's the victim still. Hey, sometimes 15-year-olds get real uppity,
Yeah, I feel.
Hang on.
like that.
Just think
His
through
name
the
is
logic
Victor.
of what you're saying there. Just
Victor.
take it through.
Sometimes you need to hit. You can't help that.
We definitely do not condone anything along those lines.
It's like medieval
obvious.
times. That's like middle-aged.
Just yep, sure.
Well, you are welcome to stay here. If you're going to be having a late night, perhaps resting now makes sense.
That might be a good idea. I think we're still pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I'm not doing very well, to be honest.
I
I'm
can
not
go
doing
rest.
very well at all.
I could use a rest. I get more rages.
At that point, you see Luther stride in, walk over to Jonor, just reach up and take the hat off you, Jonor, and put it on his head. Push it on, pull it down, and go, "That's better." Yeah, the guards think you've headed outside the town gate, so I was able to kind of point them in that direction. They're looking for you right now, Jonor.
Yep, I'll stay out of sight, that's for sure.
Yeah, I
Do
I
they
said-
have a proper description of him?
They're talking about some sort of man with wings wearing a blue robe. So not a great description, but then they also described him as being quite soft-spoken. So I
And
guess
handsome.
they didn't mention that, Tithla, but
I think they did. Don't you remember? Mm-hmm.
yeah, they definitely mentioned a handsome birdman. Yeah.
Hey, that's you, Jonor.
Why have you decided you have to be nice to Jonor?
You just flatter me. That's very kind.
Tithla doesn't want to be turned into a cat.
I'm a strong man. I can
9 cats.
Yeah, so I think we're safe for the moment, but probably best if you stay indoors, Jonor, until we are able to do something about your clothes and your hair and your general appearance. Probably best not to get your wings out within sight of any town guards as well. It sounds like your description's been handed around by the burgomaster, and you've officially been declared an enemy of the fun.
What exactly does that mean? What's an enemy of the fun?
Someone who is against cheer and smiles in the town. I didn't ask too many questions about it, but it sounded like their equivalent of like murderer, which just tells you how fucked up this place is right now.
Look, can't we just kill this bloke? What are we doing dancing around it? Let's just go in there and murder him. You've had all his fucking smiles. Like, we'll keep his boy alive. Like he's
happy?
Well, no, we can't. But you could kill someone for making people happy and beating the shit out of them if he don't.
The problem is, Grinner, that every time someone takes power through bloodshed, that is normally how their rule or their reign ends by the same methods.
Yeah, all right. Sure, but in this case it's different, right? Because we're the ones doing the bloodshed, then your brother's just going to sit down and it's all going to be good from there. It's just...
We need to incite a revolution.
Yeah, that's what
There are lots of people who support the current burgomaster. Vargas.
Surely only through fear, though, right? Like, no one likes the bastard.
I think the town guards, they're the most powerful they've ever been. I mean, he's given them sweeping powers to arrest, detain, to search, to seize materials from townsfolk. I think the guards are probably quite happy with his rules and regulations.
So what's your take? We got to vote the bastard out.
Yes, I think we do. I think we need to get rid of him legitimately. If we can find any things that we could use to turn the people against him, something that would sway their hearts and minds, that is how we get rid of him. Because once no one cares about him, Grinner, then you can act. But now if you were to kill him, I'm afraid he might become a martyr.
But he beats the shit out of people if they're not smiling. Surely nobody knows. Yeah, he's not a sane man, right? Like that's a bloke in need of help. I'll fucking help him along, all right?
Oh boy.
Look, of course it is up to you what you want to do, but I think maybe just killing him and leaving his body in the streets or just having him disappear, it will cause problems. It will bring suspicion onto Ismark. It will bring suspicion onto you. I think it is a much more risky method.
When's the next general election?
There isn't an election from the sounds of things. It has to be called.
What?
It's not something that is just organized. There
Can
needs
we
to be
call an
sufficient.
election?
Yes, absolutely. I was talking with Lucien and Ismark about this. There needs to be enough doubt in the current leader that his rule can no longer be justified. The problem is the last 3 people who have tried to call it into effect have vanished.
Right, so how do we go about doing that if we do that?
So we need to make sure that we have enough evidence that we have already turned the town guard against him. Ideally. And most of the people...
What if we don't do it your way, which sounds very thought out? What if we just stand up at the start of the day or something in the town square or something, big smiles so we can't get in trouble, and talk about how he's bad and we should have an election?
I don't think you can. You're not residents of the town. I don't think your legal rights actually extend to being allowed to call that sort of thing. In fact, I think you could be jailed for trying to do that.
Well, all right, but how are we going to make your brother the burgomaster in that case?
Father Lucien is going to call for the election at great personal risk to himself. We're also trying to get together a group of 3 other citizens to help call with him. There's a few others who are sympathetic and we might be able to convince to assist us.
I think we should go and speak to Gunther. He's got his ear to the ground. He'll have an idea of where some factions are that are sympathetic to our cause.
Gunther, from what I've heard, is not a man who takes very uncalculated risks. He takes very calculated risks, ones that he knows he is likely to profit from. I think Gunther won't join us until he knows we are the winning side.
He doesn't need to join us. He just needs to point us in the right direction.
Strangely enough, Blinsky is very much on board with our plan. He was very, very animated and very happy to help out.
That seems concerning.
No, Blinsky's opinion was that joy needs to be legitimate. It can't just be forced upon people. That only toys can bring joy, not insane dictators trying to beat people to smile more. Which I guess is kind of true if you think about it, but at the same time, Blinsky's a bit of an odd one. I know that Ismark had a meeting with him, and then I came along too, and I think he's already carving a toy of me. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, do we actually need to do anything then if they're going to go call this election and
Yes,
do
we
their
need
vote, or-
to have enough evidence that we yes.
Oh yes, this is
You're
our
doing-
job. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I've got the plan, everybody. Jonor, this was inspired by you. So we're gonna talk to Victor tonight.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
We're gonna ask him about the books. We're gonna find out information about the books.
3-step plan.
I'm confused now. Who's counting? What was
No one.
counting?
No one.
We're
No one's
going
counting.
to get information about the books. We're going to assume that that's probably bad information that is damning. We are going to ask
And
him about his
assumptions is bad.
father. We are going to ask him how his father was when he was a child. We were going to ask if they played much. We're going to ask if they smiled whilst growing up. We're going to ask about what he's learned from the books. These don't need to go in this order. We can workshop the order.
Can you start from the top? I've forgotten.
We're going to meet Victor tonight. We're going to ask him about the books. We're going to
Someone
befriend
stop
the
him.
books. I think we use Victor to find information about his father. That needs to be our first step. Once we have more information about his father and the books, we can do both because Jonor is a wonderful tactician and is going to be able to be wonderful friends with Victor.
Oh,
Once we
thank
have
you.
that information, we
I
can then
suggest you're friends with me.
go from there.
I want to add one thing to that because I think that's a good
Well,
start.
I think we've already got enough things on there. It was like 17.
Yeah, all right, Tithla, that's enough, love. That's enough.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Thank
Look.
you.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. That's enough. Right.
Did you nearly say Jacob?
It sounded like it.
All right,
Sounded
that's
it was
enough,
very
Jacob.
close.
No, do we actually? I mean, you said we need evidence to call an election, but is being insane and running ridiculous festivals not evidence enough that he is not fit for office?
Oh no, I agree, and I think most of the townsfolk are going to be going against him. The problem is that we need the support of more than just townsfolk. We need the guards. Really, ideally, we need the guards, and we need some of the businesses on side. Remember that under his rule, there are festivals every week, and people are being forced to purchase things. A number of the businesses around here benefit directly from this. Gunther is...
So it's pretty sound economic strategy then.
Yes, and that is why we need something even more. We need something to destabilize and destroy his reputation, and I'm sure there will be something that you can find.
Are
Or
we going to cause an economic downturn if we do this?
yes,
But also, his craziness hasn't been enough so far. There have been other people who have challenged him and
and they've been
running
killed or
on the
disappeared.
platform.
Yep.
Yeah, they've been disappeared.
Yes.
Well, if,
Um,
I mean, we could kill and disappear him. I'm just saying. Or Grinner
we've
you
tried,
can.
we've discussed it.
You can. I think the problem with that is that it won't actually solve the problem. I think there are other people who still believe in his ideology and will be more than happy to continue on his legacy.
Okay,
I've got a point that I think that maybe I can help with
Please
all
do.
of this. So, who leads the guards here? Who, do we know?
Vargas Valakovich, there used to be a captain of the guard, but that role was actually made redundant by Vargas's father. There hasn't been one here for over 50 years.
So who gives all the direct orders and does all the running around?
Vargas Valakovich gives the orders to the guards. He has them report directly to his home every time they need to make decisions, and he is the one who tells them what to do.
Well, shit. Why?
Because that's why he controls them. He has them doing exactly what he wants, that they have to come to him for power, for authority, for direction.
What if we take out Vargas? Not kill,
But take
what
him
if
out
we
for
go-
dinner?
perhaps, and then we can find out all
One
of his
and
dark
ban him?
secrets. Yeah, find out his dark secrets, dethrone him, then the guards won't have their tippy point. You cut the head off the snake like we've done many a time before.
Yeah.
Then the guards won't have their organizational structure. Then they won't be so loyal to the burgomaster. Then
Well,
we can use the information that we found from Victor tonight to overthrow the government.
Yeah. All right. I think there's something to that, because I was thinking with the stuff that I know, and I know it's not a lot, I'll be first to admit that, but for the stuff that I do know, which is when it comes to hurting other people, I feel as though I might be able to have some sort of sway with the guard side of things. If I can either get into the guards or find a way to, I don't know, take over the guards, which I don't know about that. I reckon I could, but it'll be a stretch. Then that takes the guard problem out of the way.
Were there any reasonable guards you spoke to when you were locked up?
There are potentially a couple that we could... Oh, sorry, you're talking to Grinner. Sorry.
Yeah, where were you locked up, love? He's talking to me.
Apologies.
Yeah. No, easy mistake to make. You know, we clearly don't look alike. So, can I roll a nice guards when I was locked up check?
You hopefully remember this was only like 24, 48 hours ago for Grinner. Do you remember Raph? Do you remember chatting to a nice guardsman? You were offered a job by one of them.
This was like
I remember
that's why a month or so ago.
It was. Do you want to roll me a history check, Grinner?
So much. Oh, fuck yeah.
14. You remember you were indeed actually offered a job by a female guard.
Yes.
Long dark hair on one side, shaved on the other. Very, very dark features, very dark brown eyes, quite prominent eyebrows, scar over her left eyebrow that actually cuts through her eyebrow and has a bit of a gap in the eyebrow itself. She actually offered you a job, and she convinced the other guard to kind of leave you alone a bit while you were in the stocks. You remember she
That's
kind of
not
spoke
Corporal Emil, is it?
Oi, look at that.
Whoa, look at the notes taking shape here.
I like the idea of Tithla kind of speaking up as Grinner gives this description. Tithla goes, "Oh
She's
yeah,
the same one that wrote us the note that said we could go home. Remember?
That wasn't a woman."
It was like 2 days
I'm
ago.
liking this. This is hilarious.
What?
That
She
was a
wrote us a
man.
note.
That was a man who wrote you the note. I was teasing. Sorry. Sorry, I was making fun of you, Tithla. Sorry. I thought you knew. I'm sorry.
The notes failed.
Feel a bit bad now.
Why
no,
I
that
asked it. That's why it was posed as a question.
Sorry. Well, I didn't say yes. I just went. It just looks really.
You implied it.
Sorry, I did because I thought it was funny. Sorry. Grinner.
That's the end of the notes.
With a 14. No
more note taking.
No, keep taking notes. I'm sorry. Just take better ones. Grinner. So as you, no, I'm kidding. Grinner, as you reflect with the 14, you remember you were indeed offered a job by a female guardswoman. That she, convinced the other guard to kind of leave you alone. That if you wanted a position with the guards, you could, and that the guards were looking for some people who were potentially able-bodied and well-versed in combat. That the ones they currently had weren't, and that she was concerned that there would be problems if the guards weren't able to properly defend the town. Which,
all right, so I think that I might have an in with the guards. I might be able to get not all the way to the tippy top, but I reckon that I could get in and at least start doing something from the inside there. I don't know if that's going to be helpful, but I reckon it might be. It definitely plays to what my strengths are.
I think that's a good plan.
Yeah.
Well,
All right,
shall we have a rest and then you can go talk to the guards and we'll go talk to the victim?
Yeah, look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually still bleeding a lot. Like it's not stopped. I don't know why it hasn't stopped. I've wrapped it up, but there's a lot of fucking blood coming out. I haven't wanted to speak up until now, but I really do need to lie the fuck down.
Well, yeah, I heard if you rest for maybe 8 hours, all of that will just go away.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It's amazing, right? I just go into a big old battle and I go over and lie down, and the next morning I'm right as rain.
Grinner, I've been. Dad taught me some things, and Arena taught me some more things. Could I maybe try and help some of your wounds a little bit? I've been practicing.
Yeah.
I would recommend.
All right. I'll
Thank you.
allow it.
Thank
And I like unwrap the bandage that's around my arm.
Oh my god, it's hideous!
It's
I'm sorry,
like-
I'm still learning.
the upper bicep just retracts. It's like torn away from the bone.
There's so much inside outside.
Can you do something about that? It doesn't feel great.
I'll try. Right here, and she'll
Reach in to try and pull the bicep back down to the bottom.
23.
23 on the medicine check.
You are very
Starts to
successful.
try and stitch up the bicep back together, and just sort of
You
put
have no
some
idea how
weeds.
extraordinarily painful this is right now.
You know what they say, no pain, no gain.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Who's they?
You wouldn't know them. They're not from
Grinner,
here.
can we hear a bit more pain in your voice, Grinner? There is someone literally pulling a torn muscle back into position, and I'm assuming like stitching it back in without any anesthetic at this stage.
Look, I've had worse. I just started necking the bottle of. I'm assuming I've still got half a bottle of scotch or something in the bag.
I
It
think
was
you
a
probably
full
do.
bottle a minute ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
was
yeah.
it? Well, it's not now.
Alrighty.
Tithla grabs it out of your hand to then splash it on your wound, and then he
Oh,
That's
that's
so much
smart.
worse.
Yeah. That stings. While this is going on, Theodore, Jonor, what are the two of you doing?
I just probably started kicking back by this stage.
Brilliant.
Resting up. Probably transferring some of those spells from that spell book, which I've had around for the last maybe 15 sessions. Maybe write a spell and
Yeah, brilliant. So to transfer a spell into your spellbook, I believe it costs money based on the level of the spell. Let me have a quick look. Let me put it open.
Should have done that, sorry.
No, that's okay. I'll pull it open right now.
Oh.
50 gold piece per level plus 2 hours.
Okay.
Which I'm assuming...
50 times by the level?
Yeah, 50 multiplied by the level. So in that case, then it's... the gold is basically the requirements you need, like special ink you need, like a very special quill.
Don't
you
have
need
the
to have-
requirements for sure.
Okay,
All
cool.
the way over here. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Sorry, Jonor.
Disguise self would be very helpful right now.
How much do you need?
I have 10. Nine and a half.
No, I mean I took all the gold from all the other stuff. I just have
Yeah.
it in my thing, so I have 176. So I can shout you some if you want, mate.
Or could go well. It's either disguise self
party
or
investment.
protection from good and evil.
Give him half.
Give him half. It's a party investment. We all need a journal, well, not for just his mind, but for his body and his strength.
Yeah, so yeah, how much you want per? What was it per spell? Was it 50?
It's
50 gold per spell level.
Yeah, it's a first level spell.
Do you have two that you could do? You can have two. I vote.
Yeah.
I vote.
I'm fine with just one. I mean, there's nothing else really that helpful. Magic missile, protection from evil and good. And I've already got mage armor and identify.
I unvote.
Magic missile kind of goes hard too. So
True. I can't fit it in my spell slots enough to prepare.
well, I'll do 50 then.
Sounds good.
I just make it rain.
Thank you.
On John Gold
Thank
Babe.
you.
How we conceptualize this, Jonor? Luckily,
I
Father-
add that instead of subtract.
Oh boy. Luckily, Lucian actually has a number of the supplies. So rather than you having to go out and try and buy like the special ink from some spellcraft merchant or from someone who's like gifted in the arcane, Lucian actually happens to have some of the supplies. So it's just that you're paying him the 50 gold to replace his supplies as you copy this across.
After we've done so much for him, he's not going to give us that for free.
It's 50 gold pieces.
We went out of our way to find his magic bones. We can't even get some ink out of him.
Yep, that's right. Not special magic ink. Jonor, as you spend give the 50 gold pieces into maybe just pay it into like the collection box and then head back and begin working away. It takes you 2 hours, but as that goes through, as you go through the spellbook in detail, you successfully copy Disguise Self across into your spellbook, and you understand the spell in all its intricacies. It's a very clever, directed use of illusionary magic, one that you hadn't really explored before, but it draws upon some of the strengths of your minor illusion to create a much more powerful illusion centered around a person. And you can now cast this on yourself or on other people, if you so wish.
Would have been helpful possibly an hour ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's not like it's not going to be useful in the future. Disguise Self, as like out of game, Disguise Self is one of my favorite spells. It's awesome.
Disguise Self, hat, sheet.
The rest of you may benefit from a long rest if you so desire.
Thank fuck for that.
Oh, yay.
I was well and truly under a quarter health.
I'll
more
give
portent rolls.
I'll give Luther a long rest too. Yeah, Jonor, would you like to re-roll some portent rolls, please?
Rolls.
This is important.
Important.
Oh, Jonor, 17-11. That's actually a good spread for portent. That's not bad at all.
Nice.
I will take a screenshot of those if you like, just in case. Never know when you might need a quick reference for your portent rolls. Done?
Great.
Alrighty. As it gets closer to the evening, Lucian comes back in, having finished his evening sermon, has a quick chat with you guys, gets the down low. We won't roleplay that. And then grabs some food, offers you some food as well, and then eventually heads to bed. As it gets...
Actually, one thing Tithla would do is, after everyone's resting or waking up or whatever it is, ask him for some pointers about what she could have done better to work on Grinner's bicep.
I kind of did this and stitched it up like this. Anything different that I could have done or better like that?
I've rarely had to deal with such brutal wounds like that before without the use of some healing magic. I would personally recommend the use of a healing potion or some sort of healing word or cure wounds to help stitch the muscles back together. But I see you've done a pretty good job stitching there. I think you've done quite well.
Oh, thanks. Nice. I had a good teacher. Thanks, Dad.
No problem. No problem, Tithla.
Just accepted the dad now.
Well, he's realised that it's not worth fighting because the other 2 times he did, Tithla just powered through. So he's picking his battles.
Never worth fighting with Tithla.
He's picking his battles.
Well, have a lovely nap, all of you. Have a lovely sleep, and I hope everything goes well tonight with Victor.
It will.
Yes.
Jonor's a master tactician and wonderful with people and making friends, so it's going to go really well.
Oh, goodness. Well,
And
that is
So,
relief.
very kind. Thank you.
Well, as the...
Tithla's gotten much better at sarcasm, or she's decided to be real friends?
Bit of column A, bit of column B, who's to say? As the 12th bell chimes, the church bell ringing in the night, you all awaken and finish your long rests and begin to head out. My question is, where are you all going? Who is heading to the stockyard to meet with Victor? Actually, I'd probably say maybe not the 12th bell, maybe at like 11:30.
11th bell.
After the 11th bell, you sort of finish getting ready and then head out. Who is going where?
I think I should hide and keep a lookout.
Yep.
For
Luther's going to offer the same thing.
Oh, right, for the meeting, right?
For the meeting, yeah.
Well, I'm
we
like,
don't wanna
in the
scare him.
church? Like,
Yep. Yeah, we're going to hide from Dad. It's hide and seek.
I'm thinking maybe it's best. Like you said, you did a suggestion spell to make the butler tell the boy, but he may come with protection or may come with some sort of backup. I think it's best if Tithla and I keep a low profile and keep an eye out for any surprises. Jonor, try and keep you safe.
Well, I'll go with Jonor then. I'll be a front-facing member of the plan.
Look, I think it would make sense to not show our full strength at this point. I think if he is coming with some other people, it would be best for us to look as weak as possible. So,
Grinner,
yeah.
can I make a suggestion? And I promise that I won't throw any food at you.
Yeah.
What if you pretend to be in one of the stocks?
Well,
Then you can be right there, but also not at all.
well, is that where we're going to be? Are we going to be where the stocks are?
I
thought-
thought we were headed to the stockyard, which is where the traders are. The stocks themselves
Yeah.
are located outside the Blue Water Inn. I think
Well, that
they're two
doesn't make any sense. Why would the stocks not be in the yard of stocks?
I
stocks
see.
in the
I see, Tithla.
stockyard.
What's happened to you? You've misunderstood the word "stock" in this case. In this case, it refers to items of value that people sell and trade.
Well, why
The
don't
other
they
ones-
call it the yard of items of value and personal trade?
Because that's
Because
very
that's
low.
what-
You're right. A stock. Anyway, I don't know. Well, maybe bring a stock. I'm done.
Look, it was a good idea, love, and in any other situation, it wouldn't have sounded stupid.
But it didn't hear either. It didn't hear either.
Yeah, so I'm gonna not go with the main party, I think, as well. I think that I might just sort of mosey around and not have anything to do with you lot unless I've got to. You know, maybe I could just, I don't know, look at some stock. Although no one's doing that at midnight. I don't know. Somebody throw some ideas at me. How do I get away with being nearby and not being nearby?
I mean, unless you want to go talk to the guards about joining the guards.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. But are you lot going to be all right on your own? What if they
But
bring
also,
a whole
maybe
bunch
not at
of guys?
11:30 and midnight.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
that
About
might
to
be a bit sus.
say, maybe
I
just
mean,
like
guards
walking
do guard stuff 24/7.
Well, yeah, but the
good
normally the
ones.
higher ups are, yeah. All right, look, I'm just going to hide with the rest of you lot that are hiding, and we'll just leave two of us up front to be the weak distraction. Not that you're weak. Don't. That's not right. Moving on.
Just not strong is what he means.
Yeah, pathetic.
Thank you so much, Tip. Yeah, all right. Look, that's enough. We're off.
All right.
All right, well, let's go. I'm happy with the plan.
Okay, and we're going to split up and hide separately.
I think that's the best possible outcome.
I'll
Lovely.
head up to a roof, get a view from the rooftops.
And how will you plan to climb onto the roof?
I'm pretty good at climbing. I've got a rope.
Okay.
Where do you keep the rope? I've never seen that.
Ah, it's in my backpack. I get it out when I need it.
Everyone, we don't have time. We got to go.
What did you point at your wrist for? What's
Because
that
I
got to
have
do
a
with
sore
time?
wrist from all of the stabbing, okay?
Oh, all right.
I feel like most of the stabbing from you has been into us
Into
five
me.
lately, yes?
I didn't. Okay, that was not called for. It was an accident. I'm sorry. Okay, I don't think I stabbed you anyway. I just kind of threw a dagger.
No, you
Luther.
you stabbed me in the back while I was a bear.
Okay, well maybe bears are scary.
I would like to try to hide.
Everyone who's hiding, I will need a stealth check from you. Those who are not, you don't need to worry about this.
Yeah, not being stealthy. Wandering out the
Oh, no way!
Natural 20 for Grinner. Oh my goodness. 23
Oh, yeah.
for Tithla.
Love it. Disadvantage.
7. Not so great, Tithla.
Why are you still so crispy?
Because
you
it's
haven't
been one
taken
day.
it. You haven't taken it to get healed, and it's
It's been
literally
one day.
yeah. It's not been
Just
very
get
long.
better.
It was yesterday.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, it was 2 days. It was 2 days ago. It was
We
2
are not
days ago.
zooming.
Oh, because that makes all the difference.
Tithla passed out.
24
To her,
for
it was
Luther.
yesterday.
Yeah, 24 for Luther. As you guys begin heading out, Tithla, your probably the biggest difficulty for you is most of your stealth work. Most of the time, you've been able to sort of practice your careful, stealthy approaches have been in woodland, and the city environment is just not something you're as used to. The cobblestones, cold under your feet, click occasionally as your little goblin claws like skitter across them. The wood that you use to sort of climb up the side of the buildings into the upper balconies makes these scratching noises as you climb. There's no rustle of leaves and trees to kind of synchronize with to hide yourself. In fact, the buildings are quite static, and so to move between them requires you to dash out into the open rather than being able to use the natural shadows of the moving foliage. So despite your best attempts, you're just not quite as used to hiding in this urban city environment.
Makes sense.
Luther with a 24 and Grinner with a 21 fucking melt into the shadows. Luther climbing up the side of a building and disappearing from view. Well, actually, you don't even see that. Luther just disappearing into a shadow immediately. And and climbing up the side of a building.
Assholes.
And Grinner actually using the shadows of buildings to kind of like move between areas quite quickly and nonchalantly, adopting this very sort of like slow walking gait that kind of deceives how quickly you're moving and allowing you to just move between shadows. In this sort of very smooth, slick motion that makes it very hard for anyone who's tracking you to know which direction you're planning on heading. Sort of chaotic approach.
My aim is to try to, when we see the people that are coming in for this meeting, get behind them and stay behind them through this.
Easily done. As you get closer to the stockyard, Jonor and Theodore.
Sorry. Would Tithla be sticking out? Would somebody say something to Tithla?
No, we'd be aware of it.
But then Luther and good like, check out this would be funny.
Yeah, that's good for a laugh.
This is like hiding behind a fence, but it's just a paling fence, so you can see straight through it.
Like she picks up one of the planks and runs with it, holding it in front of her face, occasionally looking around before she bumps into the side of a building, falls flat on her ass, quickly drops the paling, looks around, startled, and then like runs into a trash bin.
Alright, she's not an idiot. I mean, she's not a raccoon.
The fact you needed to specify that.
Yeah, you're pretty raccoonish, actually.
Yeah, the fact you needed to specify that. Are you a bit defensive about that, Jacob? Do you want to tell us?
No, I'm not. Okay, don't ask.
As you get closer,
your skin's probably black enough to look like a raccoon now.
From the burns and the char. Yeah. As Jonor and Theodore get closer, you see at first the stockyard appears empty. No sign of anyone. But as you walk in through the front and begin heading towards the center of the stockyard, a figure emerges from the shadows. Dark black hair, tied back into a familiar ponytail, quite similar to his father's, is a young man who resembles the Baron Vargas Vallaki, but has a much more, I would say, sallow appearance. Deathly pale, quite sunken eyes, thin bony fingers, with this long black hair tied back. As he looks around furtively, clutching this spellbook, he spots the two of you, and you watch as he holds out a hand and summons this small mote of fire in his hand, holding it up, sort of like get a bit of a better look at you. And as he walks forward, he sort of like shakes his head a little bit, looking at the two of you, and goes, "Well, when I got the message that I was to meet someone in the center of town, and it was clear a spell had been used to summon me here, I thought, well, I'm not sure what I thought. What is it you want from me? You were able to deceive my butler with your magics, but I warn you, you will have no such luck with me."
As we were walking up, could I have retrospectively had like a little, like a powwow with Joan? Like, what are we saying that we?
Sure.
Are we book salesmen?
I was going to lead with, I'm interested in that sphere. The book mentioned last session where the spheres of the astral plane, so learning more about teleportation magic, see if he's interested in sharing information. So starting with that. I'm not sure who we are though. I've already given myself away as who I am.
So yeah, your exact message to the butler, I think, was like, I have rare books on magic. I think, wasn't that what you said? Or you said like, if you want to know more about rare magic, meet me in the town square, I believe is what you said.
Well, when he says, I'm not sure, what I expect, I'm like, I don't know, we are Theodore and Jonor. We are traveling scholars looking into the mysteries of the spheres of the astral plane.
He sort of gives you a bit of a side eye. Theodore, could you please make me a deception check?
Yep.
24, Theodore. You watch as the little mote of fire in his hand slowly dies down. And he closes his hand and looks at it. Victor Vallaki, I guess I'm a student of magic. Pleasure to meet you. How did you do that to my butler? I mean, it wasn't like any sort of spell I've seen. You twisted his mind and made him dance for you like a puppet, work for you. What kind of magic was that?
I gesture to Jonor to give some kind of
Hey,
wizardy explanation.
Jonor,
that point-
explain.
I'm going to mimic the firebolt presumably he had in his hand, do the exact same wave back to him.
Ah, yes, I see you know Fireball. But that other spell that you used to make my butler act in a way that you desired, how did you do that? What spell is that? What magic is that? Do you have any books on that?
Ooh, I do myself have a book, more of the written word rather than the bloodline type, if that means anything to you.
Yes.
What you're saying is we do have a book. We can happily teach you, but we are looking more to learn more about the astral plane. We've heard you may have a book on the subject.
I do. I acquired a book from Gunther not too long ago on teleportation magic. I am looking for more information. If you have more information about teleportation magic, I would be interested in a trade.
Yes, 100%. If you show us what you have, we will teach you what we know. We can teach you more about that spells that we cast on the butler.
You are Outlanders, correct? You're not from
Yes, we come from a completely different plane of existence.
Wonderful. I need to know everything you know about magic, and I've been practicing these spells, but it's taken me some time, and I have no one to teach me, so I've been getting things wrong. I would appreciate the assistance if you're offering a trade. I would be so grateful. What knowledge can I offer in return?
Well, if the suggestion spell you're interested in, maybe perhaps we could if I could teach you to do it, if Theodore is willing, maybe we could cast it on him and you can make him do something, he probably wouldn't want to do. And in exchange, knowing, something about teleportation magic would be a good start. How does that sound?
Oh,
and at the point, I pull out my book and show that I have a book myself full of.
Is this your spell book, Jonor, or the spell book that you found in the?
I'm pulling out my one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, a wizard's tome. Amazing. Right. So let me just understand. Sorry. So do you know much about teleportation magic? Because that's what I'd be interested in. That's the suggestion spell. That sounds good, but more importantly, I need to know. I need to understand teleportation magic. I need to understand how to make it work for me.
Yes, we do know something about the teleportation magic. It's quite advanced, though, so
it is.
We need to understand what you know already. Perhaps if you show us the things you've been learning from, we can then teach you what we know, build upon that foundation.
Can you make me a persuasion check, please, Theodore? That is a very, very good argument.
Can I also roll a perception to see if he's brought anyone around with him?
Yeah. Yes, please. Yeah, go for it. Jonor?
Oh, do we drop a portent on this one? Yeah,
it's up to you, Jonor. It's up to you, Jonor.
Yeah, it is. It is up to me. Nah, not gonna drop it on this one.
Cool. For a moment, Jonor, you sort of open your eyes, see the cards in your pocket suddenly opening and spinning, and then the moment ends. The wind that suddenly seemed to pick up around you just dropping away into nothingness as the moment passes. Grinner, 7. Nah, mate, it's just dark. There's some nerds talking in the center of the stockyard.
Nerds talking nerd shit.
Grinner's already bored shitless.
Although probably what is keeping you entertained is the sight of Tithla trying to be stealthy. It's at this point as Tithla trips over and rolls into the open, pauses for a second, looks around, and then quickly scuttles away. Victor sort of goes,
I think I saw something. I think I saw a small green creature.
I didn't.
then perhaps we should return to somewhere more secure, and you can show us what you know.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's a great idea. Thank you. I'd love to show you what I've done so far, and if you could tell me where I'm going wrong, I would be most appreciative. Thank you, both of you.
Yeah,
How did
absolutely.
you know to contact me?
We are obviously knowledgeable people. Like-minded people always flock together, in my experience.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for coming and helping me. Please, come this way. I'll lead you back to the...
But just so I can make sure that this is... we are just getting to know you after all. You seem like a trustworthy young man, but for what purpose do you want this teleportation magic?
I want to leave this place. Surely, doesn't everyone? I do understand that. That is why we are also interested. But I mean, you are the son of the burgomaster. Surely, you must enjoy your life here with your loving father. He seems like a happy gentleman. Yeah, he certainly seems it, doesn't he? My father is many things. Loving is never a word I would use to describe him and how he treats me. I am the disappointment of my family. I am the bane of his existence, the failure of a son. He wishes that he could have had anyone else but me as his child. No, I would not describe my father as loving or wonderful.
Oh,
I imagine they don't appreciate what can be learned from spells.
It's not just that. He insists on everyone walking around with a large smile plastered across their face as if somehow that will keep us protected. No. The only way to stay safe is to get out of here, to get as far away from this place as possible. That's what I intend to do, no matter the cost.
I'm sorry, this is quite shocking. I had no idea the burgomaster might not have been a good man. Could you tell us more so we can navigate this town more safely?
Stay as far away from him as you can. Don't do anything that might draw attention from the guards, and just make sure you smile whenever you're in public. He has people who come to him and tell him things, people in town. There are a number of people who he pays for information, to watch their friends, to report on their families. He's built this climate of fear here. It's foul, and I hate it, and I hate him. I just want to get away from him, out from under his shadow, somewhere where I can be free.
This teleportation magic does seem very important then. That's I can understand your passion about it.
Of course. And anyone who wants to leave with me, my plan is to try and open a true teleportation circle and get as many people who want to leave as I can. No one should have to stay here.
Well, I think a good start of that is going somewhere safe for the time being.
I'll
continue on our little journey.
I'll take you to the attic. I've been working on my spellcraft there. That's where I've been working on my early draft of the teleportation circle. I warn you, it's not working properly. Something's wrong with it. It's behaved strangely, and it's not going very well.
Is this at your family manor?
Yes.
Do you think there will be a problem with us going inside? If your father is as bad as you sound,
couldn't you just use that magic again to make him not pay attention to you there?
Yeah, well, yes, we could, but I mean, we would rather avoid any such confrontations if possible. Just wondering if that is likely to be an issue.
I could try and convince him the guards would call for him for something and sneak you in, or maybe, I mean, it's quite late. He probably will be asleep this time of night, or close to it.
Oh, well, that should be sufficient then. But Jonor, maybe you'd like to disguise yourself.
That sounds like a very good plan to me, and I'm sure you can make yourself disappear as well.
Hang on, my father spoke of a man who summoned wings and flew from the manor doors. He described him as wearing white and blue. Was that you delivering the message?
That might have been me, yeah. I do want to disguise myself in the public these days. Not the best received.
Can you really fly?
Once a day I got it in me, but it takes a bit of effort, but I can if I absolutely need to.
Oh, the spell only works once a day. I wonder if you could... I'm sorry, I don't want to impose. Let's deal with the teleportation first, and then... I mean, I would love to learn to fly. That sounds amazing. That sounds wonderful.
Can I roll an insight if he's just playing us? Yeah.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, of course you can. I'm surprised it's taking you guys this long to ask for an insight.
I can't trust him.
20.
Yeah,
Jonor.
I was trusting him entirely.
Jonor.
there's been a few things that as you reflect back, you don't think he's telling you everything. You get the sense that he's not told you any lies, but he's certainly not told you the whole story. When he spoke about his hatred for his father, there was real venom there. You believe that 100%, and that was the full story. He loathes his father. When he said about the teleportation circle not working and malfunctioning, something about that, there's something he's not telling you around that. There's more to that story. There was a look of almost guilt that crossed his face when he said that. You don't get the sense he's playing you at all. If anything, he seems like a rather nervous 16-year-old boy who has just been told that what he wants can be given to him. What he needs to know can be taught. He is excited, he is nervous, and more importantly, you get the sense he's hopeful in a way that it doesn't seem he has been for some time. There's a real hope suddenly kindling there. But yeah, definitely there's some things he hasn't shared. Definitely you get that sense strongly with the inside of 20. That look of guilt when he said the portal was malfunctioning, there's something there.
It surely can't be worse in the bakery. Surely.
Carry on.
This is not children in the teleportation circle.
Master Skywalker. Every time.
Well, if we're going to go in there, I'm not going to be well received. I could disguise myself, but it's quite dangerous for me to go in there. Is there another way? Maybe you can, if we go to somewhere not in your manor, could we go to a similar location you've described? And once we've worked on the theoretical side, then we could get to the practical of how you have done your specific insignias on the ground. Work through those finer points.
Yes, I'm sure we could do that. I could fetch some of the books that I've been trying to learn from, and I can show you the teleportation circle I copied. Because I copied it from some pages. The problem was the book's a bit damaged, and so not all of the... no, I can fetch the books, and I could meet you back here, or maybe somewhere more private.
Oh, well, somewhere where, a place where, the authority in the town isn't going to obstruct us. You might know a couple of hiding spots, growing up here.
I don't go outside very often. I spend most of my time up in the attic. I'm not sure.
I think it might be worth to check out his circle if you can discuss it. We may learn something about his magic if we go into the manor attic.
Yeah. All right. Look, I'll trust you this time. I hope you appreciate. I'm doing that. I'm putting myself in danger.
Oh, yes. No. Of course. I will do my best to make sure that you can get inside without any problems. I will make sure my father is distracted. No, I really, really appreciate this. And maybe once my father has calmed down a bit, I can explain that you were merely a powerful practitioner of magic seeking... No, he wouldn't understand. No, never mind.
Yeah, the wizard trying to speak to other wizards didn't fly before, I would say.
You're right. My father's a small-minded buffoon. Please...
Who would... I can change myself to look like another person. Who would you go out to see at this time of night and bring back in a guard?
Oh, never.
Or...
No. I never leave the manor this late. I'm hoping no one's noticed my absence. I snuck out through the upper window, and I would have died if it wasn't for a featherfall spell that I quickly was able to cast. Could have been the end for me, actually.
All right. Well, I'll disguise myself as a guard of a female guard, slightly shorter,
okay.
And we'll go back in the same way you came out.
No problem. Great. I'll lead you there right now.
Sounds good. We'll be stealthy about it.
Perfect. Alrighty. I think that is a pretty good place to wrap up for tonight, because everything else I want a nice big old block of time to do properly. Awesome. Okay, very, very nicely done. This is going to be very... It's going to be
It's not just a quick trip in, check out his circle, learn some stuff, get out. No,
quick squeeze.
Yeah, just to drive by. No, this will be interesting. I'm looking forward to this. Also, well, thank you so much, everybody. For those of you who are joining us live, thank you so much. We really appreciate you stopping by. Those of you who are watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast, we also really appreciate you guys checking it out. YouTubers, if you can make sure you hit that subscribe button, like button,
Just
leave a
fucking
comment.
do it. Just do it. Stop being stupid about it. Just hit
Thank
the
you.
button.
That's not. We don't have to be that
Yeah, you
aggressive.
wimp.
We can turn it back a bit. Okay.
wimp. Huh?
We can
Save my face.
reel it back in a bit. We can really reel that back in. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Make sure if you've played D&D or any other RPG and you've got a really fun story you want to share, chuck it in the comments and I'll read it out at the beginning of the next episode. That is all from us here tonight. Until next time, stay safe. My dog's wishing you good night as well. Stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all again really soon. Until then, farewell, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye, friends.
Bye-bye.
Mwah.
Bye.